What's up, famers? It's your girl Nadi, your mental health blogger, and I am back with another blog today. I know I haven't been on here for a couple of days now. I have been on, but my focus was on me and my daughter's hair journey and not so much focused on the anxiety aspect of what it is that I'm blogging about. So today I want to get back on track with things with you all. I hope everyone is in good health, everyone is safe during this pandemic. As you all can see, I am right now in the comfort of my bedroom, in my bed, giving it to y'all real and raw as promised. So I want to get back into my journey and your journey, which is our journey ultimately in Aim for Fame and your outlet to healing. And today I want to touch base a little bit on anxiety and some of the things that kind of get swept under the rug. So let's get into it. So before I go any further with today's topic, I want to remind you guys to make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the videos, share them, comment, and really become a part of Aim for Fame. I want you all to feel comfortable in expressing yourself and sharing what you're going through along with me. Because like I've stated in some of my other vlogs, you know, this isn't easy. I know it's not easy for you all. And I want to be that platform to make you guys feel a little bit more comfortable with coming forward in what it is that you are going through. Also, I posted a blog today, new blog alert on my website. Make sure you guys read www.aimfor-fame.com/blog/blog, where you guys can check up on my newest post. And that was a good one for me because a lot of the times in the topic that I chose to write about in my website, it's geared more towards our circle of people and how they interact with loved ones like myself who suffer from anxiety. So it's a great read. I suggest you pass the information along to your loved ones so they can read up on it and get some more insight on that. Now today, I want to talk about some things. And these things are, it's basically like the shit that people don't really know about that we go through. People like you, people like me that have anxiety, that have other related mental illnesses, and just how much of a struggle it is for us on a day-to-day basis. So one of the main things is that an anxiety attack can come out of nowhere, like with a trigger, without a trigger. We could be in the shower, we could be cooking, we could be at work, we could be cleaning the house. It's uncontrollable. And this is something that a lot of people fail to realize. When you suffer from anxiety, we can't predict when we're going to be triggered. We can't predict when we're going to have an anxiety attack or a panic attack. Most of these things come straight up out of the blue. And at times, we feel like we're having a heart attack. We're dizzy. We feel like woozy, numbness, tingling sensations. Sometimes it can be very physical. And for me, when I am going through the majority of my anxiety attacks, I become very silent, very, very quiet. I stop talking. I kind of mentally isolate myself. And a lot of the people around me, they sometimes take it as, oh, you know, she's just quiet today. Or, you know, maybe something's on her mind. Yes. That's exactly what it is. Something is always on my mind. And a lot of people don't understand just how deep it goes. So it comes out of nowhere. It's uncontrollable. And a lot of the times it hits us at these random moments where it can be quite debilitating, out in the open, out in public, in private. It's really something that we don't know when it's going to come. Which brings me to my next point, that uh, having anxiety it's not something that just comes and goes, okay? It's a constant state of fear and worry. Constant state of fear and worry. Every single day, all day, 24 hours a day, we are worrying or thinking negative thoughts, premeditating horrible outcomes of every situation possible. This happens all throughout the day, every single day. So it's not seasonal. For me anyway, it's not circumstantial. It's all day long. It's all day long. Just the other day, I was in the kitchen. I'll give you guys an example. And I was going to prepare breakfast. I opened my freezer. I didn't have one of the things that I normally have that I add to my breakfast, and I had a full-blown anxiety attack, y'all. Crying and everything, where I just came back in the room. I was in the bed. I was hysterical. I was going through so many different emotions, all because of that one thing that triggered me. And I didn't know that I was going to respond the way that I did. And in most cases, we don't know. These are the things that a lot of people don't understand about people who suffer from anxiety or other related mental illnesses. We don't know, just like you all don't know. We don't have the answers. If we did, then I think it would take a lot of the pressure off on us in the fact that we do have this anxiety. So in most cases, I just feel like people throw that word around. Oh, she has anxiety. Oh, I have anxiety. Without really knowing the depth that that word goes. What's attached to it. It's attached to a lot of negativity. It's attached to a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of isolation, depression, feeling shameful, feeling unworthy. It goes really, really deep, y'all. And, a lot of the times people just assume that it's just a feeling that goes away, and they'll say things like, oh, just try not to stress, just try not to worry, just try not to think about it, not realizing that those very statements, those exact statements actually triggers us even more, and it sends us into this deeper state of anxiety, just hearing that you expect us to just not think about something, to just get over it. And if we were capable of doing that, then we would not be suffering to the capacity that we are. And I think that is where a lot of the times people they just lack the knowledge. And for so many people, that's why it's so hard to have or build relationships when you suffer from anxiety. I know for me, it definitely is challenging. Having relationships even with my family, with my friends that have been by my side almost all my adulthood. It's not easy carrying those relationships when you have anxiety, because, it causes a sense of low self-esteem and low self-worth. And we can push people away. We can push people away. I know that I used to push a lot of people away because of my anxiety, and it wasn't done purposely, but because of so many of the fears that took over how I functioned, it was kind of like I couldn't help it. And what I ended up doing was shutting people out, hurting people's feelings, speaking out of emotion and not logical, just kind of like being very irrational, and behaving in ways that were even sometimes almost violent, and just lashing out based off of what I was experiencing and some of the anxiety that I had. So it can be very damaging to relationships, and that's something that a lot of people as well don't understand. And so that's why I wanted to share that as well with you all, because having a relationship, any kind of relationship, and you're suffering from a mental illness, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And that's why it's really important to have that support system. And in order to have a support system, you have to be comfortable with sharing those parts of you that you're afraid to share, basically. And you have to be able to get more open with discussing just what it is that you have, your fears, your thoughts, your challenges, with the people that are the closest to you, because they are going to be the ones to help support you through these matters, through these episodes that you have. Another thing that a lot of people don't either know or understand or recognize is just how exhausting having anxiety can be for either me, someone who has it, or for a loved one, someone who is surrounded by another person that has it. It's exhausting, it's draining, it's energy sucking. For me, it's very tiring, to the point where, that it's kind of like that feeling you get after you've worked out for like 2 hours at the gym, and you get home and you take that shower and you just collapse because every muscle in your body hurts and you physically have no more energy in you, and you just take that nap. That is the same response that anxiety has, basically. It is draining, and it drains you mentally, it drains you physically, spiritually, emotionally, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't take that into consideration, just how draining it is. I mean, I know right now a lot of people are experiencing anxiety due to the pandemic that we're having. So just take some time out and imagine feeling that type of anxiety that you're feeling maybe once in a week or once in a couple of weeks due to the pandemic. Imagine feeling that every single day, every minute of the day, every day. That's a lot. It's a lot for any person to endure. And it took some time for my loved ones to understand just how serious that was. And then they started doing more research and learning how to help me cope with it. But it takes a toll on you. And now my anxiety is to the point where it has affected me physically as well. So my symptoms are greater than what they used to be, my physical symptoms. So I get a lot of dizziness, fatigue. I definitely overeat due to my anxiety. I'm tired. I don't have any energy, any motivation. All of those things are a result of having constant, your mind is in a constant fight or flight state. And your body is not equipped or designed to handle being in that state of mind consistently. It breaks you down. It breaks down your nervous system. It does so much damage that a lot of people just don't understand. And I'm here to just share the importance of it, because a lot of you don't know. You just don't know how exhausting it can be for someone who's suffering from this mental disorder on a day-to-day basis. Another thing that people who suffer from these type of disorders face is, our thoughts. We have very intrusive, detailed, horrible thoughts of like things, all kinds of things to the extreme. I have moments where, I actually visualize entire scenarios of tragedy that happens to either myself or someone I love, and just imagine what that does psychologically. So you create this situation in your mind, and your mind, what it does is it actually plays out that scenario as if it really happened. You go through the exact same emotions: hurt, pain, heartache, grief, sadness, depression, anger. Go through all of those emotions just based off of this scenario that you created in your own head that hasn't even happened. That happens a lot also for people that are suffering from anxiety and other related mental illnesses. We have a very bad habit of, being fearful and worrying, and to the point where we're creating all of these scenarios, all of these what if scenarios in our heads, not understanding that as we're creating these scenarios, we're putting our body through it as well. So our body is responding in those same fight or flight responses as if it really happened. So we go through all of those emotions. Y'all, it is just, it's so damaging. It's so damaging. And to experience this constantly, daily, just imagine how damaging that is for your mind and your body, for your nervous system, for your reproductive system, for everything basically. And it's just something that we all need to become more aware of, more knowledgeable about. For you, the person that experiences the anxiety, or for your loved one. I mean, show this vlog to someone you love so that they can understand, I mean, I think that it's helpful that we all try to understand so we can all work together to try to overcome. And I feel like another thing that people don't realize is, a panic attack or an anxiety attack, it looks different on every person. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't act the same. We're all different, so it's going to shape us in different ways. For me, I have several different ways of how I handle anxiety attacks when I get them. Sometimes I am like mute. And when I say mute, it's not by choice. Like, I literally cannot speak. And I get to that point because it's like the battle that's going on internally in my mind won't allow me to speak. I become like dead silent. Like, this type of isolation just consumes me almost to the point where I can't speak, I can't function, I can't move, I can't get up, I can't drink that glass of water, I can't do anything for several minutes until I can gain control of myself again. And for some people, I feel like, we pretend that everything is okay. And I have those type of episodes too, where I can mask it, where I can pretend like I'm functioning and I'm in the conversation and everything is fine. But on the inside, it's the complete opposite. I am exploding inside. And sometimes that comes out if I'm triggered during a conversation I might be having with someone. If they say something and it triggers me, now they have become the target, and I'm exploding on that person or those people. Another thing that people don't understand is that I look at my anxiety like a whole nother person. I actually nickname my anxiety. I call her Annie. Annie is the devil. I feel like Annie is my arch nemesis, and we fight every single day, me and her, because I don't want her here, but she consistently tries to stay in my life. And so I feel like what I go through on a day-to-day basis is like my anxiety is telling me one thing, and because I'm actively trying to work on bettering myself and overcoming my anxiety, I'm fighting what it's telling me now. But before, I used to just allow Annie to do whatever she wanted, to run my life. And by running my life, I mean, all of my actions were based off of my anxiety. So I moved accordingly, according to my fears, my doubts, my worries. That is how I was living my life at one point. And once I put my foot down and decided to start to fight my anxiety, that is when I separated myself. So the version of me that I am aiming to be versus the old me, which is Annie, my anxiety. And it's not easy. And a lot of people don't understand that it's really like there's two people that is inside of this one body. And I'm struggling, just like I'm sure other people are struggling, to get to where they want to be mentally in a stronger place. And a lot of the times they just don't know. It's so much that they don't know, that we the sufferers don't know. And that's what I'm here to try to share that with you all. It's not, you are not your anxiety at the end of the day. Another thing that people may not know is how tiring having anxiety and all of these thoughts truly is. I mean, for me, I just feel like I get tired of my damn self sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, the same thoughts over and over and over and over again. It's tiring to the point where I'm like cursing my own damn self out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you keep thinking about this? Why do you keep letting this bother you so much? But that is the part that we are working on trying to control, right? To overcome. So my partner and my circle, sometimes they just don't understand the extent of it. They're probably tired of hearing it. Imagine how I feel. Imagine how we feel, us who have the anxiety, just how tiring it is, how draining it can be to constantly be thinking about the same things over and over and over again. It gets boring. Like, it gets so boring, but at the same time, we can't help it. So it's just really important. I can't stress it enough to do the work and really try to understand as much as you can about yourself. If you're the one that's suffering from the anxiety, if you're not the one, but you're in a relationship with someone that is, it's really important to try to understand and gain as much knowledge as possible so you can help that person. Because I can tell you right now, like, I've snapped on a lot of people due to my anxiety and the fact that something they did or said triggered me. I have snapped and lost it on a lot of people. And I know that being with my partner has taught me a lot. I know that it's not easy for my partner. I know he is doing the best that he can, and he has learned so much as far as, how to help me cope with my mental illnesses. But I know at time, he's human too. And that's another thing, he's human too. He has feelings just like I have feelings. And I can't expect him to push his feelings to the side always. And to accommodate me. I cannot expect that. It's not realistic, but it is important to try to gain as much knowledge as possible when you are dealing with someone that suffers from these mental disorders. Like, I had to explain to him and other people that even though I have medications, that doesn't make me anxiety free. You know, it doesn't just wipe away this disorder. What it does is it tames it, it buries it, but it's still there. Which is why I try not to depend on my medication. And like I told you all in my other vlogs and my other blogs that I posted on my website, I'm at a point now where I only take it when absolutely necessary. And I take it because my physical symptoms are unbearable at times. But other than that, I really am doing the work on myself and my own self-healing in my journey. And I have such a great support system. So I feel like, you know, my progress it's really thriving right now. But my medication doesn't just wipe away my anxiety. And a lot of the times, a lot of people don't understand that either. They feel like, well, aren't you taking medicine for this? Like, you know, what's up? Why are you still having issues? Because I'm a human. You know, I'm a human being and I have actual real feelings, and this is an illness. And if I could, I wouldn't be in this situation. And the medication helps, but it does not alleviate anything. The anxiety is still there. That is very temporary, the medication. And so, you know, just practicing healthy habits of thoughts, and trying to dig deep within yourself and find the root causes of some of the traumas and the pain that have led you to your disorder. It's really helpful, and I talk a lot about that all over my website and my blogs and in my other past vlogs. So guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can all keep up to date with my vlog posts. Check out my website, www.aimfor-fame.com, so you guys can read up on my blogs and join in on the discussion, comment, share, post your journey, you know, and your experiences and what you have learned thus far, because it's all about us all coming together and putting what it is that we know together to help one another. That is the goal at the end of the day, because a lot of people don't understand just how powerful anxiety is and can be, how consuming it is for someone that suffers from this. It takes over your life. It takes over your being. It takes over your thoughts, your movements, your actions, every single facet that you can imagine. It takes over, and it's debilitating, and it's embarrassing, and we feel ashamed, and we feel alone, and we feel like we have no voice and isolated, and like no one will ever understand. So imagine, you know, going through what you're going through with your anxiety on top of feeling those things. It's hard for someone to express themselves and to come out and share that. I get it. I'm also suffering from anxiety and complex PTSD and OCD. So I have several things that I'm working on in my life, and you know, it really goes a long way to have people have a better understanding of just how serious and important these disorders are. It's not easy trying to explain how frightening it is when you live your whole life in fear. You live your whole life in fear You're fearing everything. You're worrying about everything. You're doubting everything. Um, that is that's a lot, and it's something that a lot of people just don't understand. And that's why I'm just trying to put it all out there for those of you who don't know the severity of it. You should know, because you could have someone right next to you that you lay down with every day, and you have no idea what's going on in their minds. You have no idea. And so I feel like dig a little deeper. For those of you who do have anxiety and other illnesses, other mental illnesses, I commend you. We are doing the best that we can. Don't be so hard on yourself, and really try to do the work to overcome your anxiety. Really try to do the work to dig deeper within yourself, face those fears, face that trauma and pain, face your childhood, all of the things that contributed to the state of mind that you are in right now. The only way for us to continue healing is by facing those things. And one other thing that is important to know is that just fearing what we fear and worrying about the things that we worry about, and knowing that we have anxiety can cause anxiety. And so what I mean by that is, I'll be fine some days, in a good mood, cooking, taking care of my family. And I can have a thought like, wow, I'm having a really good day today. I was really able to manage my anxiety and push through my day. And that very thought of me being able to manage my anxiety will cause me to have an anxiety attack. That is just how it is, you guys. It is uncontrollable at times. And sometimes I trigger myself. I know sometimes you all trigger yourselves just from our thoughts. So I thank you all for watching this. I hope that I was able to help someone who is suffering, and someone who has a loved one is suffering, understand a little bit more details about what it is that we face every day, and some of the things that we're battling inside and what we're trying to overcome. It is a battle. It is a battle. And that's why I call us supermen and superwomen, because I feel like it takes so much strength to be able to live with these conditions on a day-to-day basis and function. So I am a high functioning person with anxiety. And I'll get into that in another segment. But there are people out there that are considered having and being able to function highly with anxiety, which I will discuss in another vlog. But this vlog, I just wanted to kind of open you guys up to the different levels of anxiety that people don't talk about, and that sits there, but you're afraid to touch the topic on, or you just are oblivious to it. For someone that doesn't have the anxiety or the disorder, you don't know what's going on. You're thinking, oh, okay, my loved one has this. I'm there for them, but how are you there for them is what matters. Because just because they're your loved one doesn't mean that you're helping. You could be causing more damage than you know, just from some of the things that you might be saying to that person that is suffering from anxiety. So it's very important to just be knowledgeable. And for the people who are suffering from anxiety or other mental disorders, also knowing more about it will help you as well. I know that it's helped me in learning yourself, relearning yourself, and trying your best to overcome your anxiety is what it's all about. You guys, make sure you subscribe and like this and share this amongst other people. Check out my website again. I did post a new blog today. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave everything in my description below. Thank you all for watching, Famers. Until the next time, remember, my journey is your journey, is our journey. And together we cope, and together there's hope.